Good morning, everybody. I see new faces. Basically, we continue with this magic day, festival of ceramic and new reality. And basically, I would like to start here saying thank you to Hispalyt. Hispalyt Foro Cerámico, they approached us last year and asking us how we could, from Alicante School of Architecture, to promote, to encourage our students to jump, to start working with this material. It's a material that, on the other hand, is very, once you finish architecture, it's very conventional, let's say, in the building construction. So it's a matter of, well, from the School of Architecture itself, is to research on it and to see the possibilities. Then Foro Cerámico was to do that. They promote these activities. One is the competition of projects, design projects, that, as you know, there are competitions as to you. You are taking part of this competition. At the end of this morning, we will have the winner. There are competitions of local, I mean, each School of Architecture in Spain, and as well, the winner can participate, if has the same theme, to the national. The good news here is that we have jumped in Alicante School of Architecture from 0 participants in this competition to the top in all Spain. Then congratulations to all of you for participating. And I think that has even more, it's more plausible knowing that Alicante School of Architecture has only 500 students, but not like Madrid or those huge mega, or Barcelona mega schools of architecture. So the second thing is to talk about the jury, the members of the jury that we have been. It will be the director of the School of Architecture, but he delegates in Joaquín Albado. He's one of the members of the jury. The second one is myself, in this case, as a coordinator of this course. The architect local that hasn't got any relationship, we asked Albert Faus to be our local architect, to be part, and Enrique Sánchez, who is as well part of the Foro Cerámico. Well, I am showing here images of the different competitions and how they finish with a publication. As well, there is a prize for final thesis, both in degree and master. And these are the conditions of this competition with the prizes. And the jury. And the third thing that we consider very interesting, very important, is to invite architects with prestigious work to come here to show their work and for us to learn from them. No? In that case, when they asked me that I could choose the architect without any doubt, no? I mean, for us, for the way in the way we work in Alicante School of Architecture, we love materials, of course. We have to build with materials, but we like going beyond that. No, there must be like a name. I mean, the idea was, as has happened here in the competition of ceramic, the theme was free. I mean, you know how we teach in Alicante. We believe in freedom for the interest of the student, that to develop what you are really passionate, to feel passion for. And in that way, we wanted to choose an architect that goes, I'm not saying that the rest they don't do that, but we like the idea of an architect that could answer the question, no, when you come to us, no, we have a submission, and you say, sorry, we cannot submit because the electricity went off or my computer broke. Then I haven't got a project. No? Imagine somebody who goes to nowhere to wanted to build with the knowledge that has learned in this case in Barcelona, and goes there and finds like nothing, no? Not that lack of materials or electricity on that. That person, in this case I'm talking of course about Albert Faus, say, okay, I'm going to make architecture with the materials I find around me. Then that mentality that was crucial for us to select Albert to come here from Africa, from Burkina Faso, to show his work. And what is incredible is that humble architecture, at the end of the day, is more inspired or more, it's appearing, published in the top prestigious magazines of architecture around the world. There are different examples. This house is in ETSA, we should go to visit it. And these are the speakers around Spain this year. All of them fantastic. And this is Albert Faus. So we are going to listen to him in minutes. And then there are a series of lectures as well about the technique. We always say that it's extremely important not only to have ideas, but architecture in itself is a discipline. We need to control the technique with the different themes. And the last thing that we love traveling, as you know, but when we went to visit La Escandela, it was amazing it was a trip to the future to see the possibilities of this material. No, then it's something amazing that we live by our, we can really establish collaborations, and I hope, to be able to continue developing the possibilities of this material. So thank you very much to Foro Cerámico, and now I would like, please, Albert, come here and to tell us about your work. Un whisky. ¿Lo tendrás luego?
Yo estaba...
Venga. Hay un puntero, si lo tienes aquí, lo que pasa es que hay puntero, pero no hay puntero por ahí con él. A no ser que pasemos la... Esperante. Vamos a ver. ¿Tú tienes aquí? Si quieres la presentación, la pasas aquí a la pantalla y entonces te pongo el puntero. Si quieres. ¿No?
Esto lo puedo pasar aquí.
Exacto. ¿Has pasado? Creo que no se ha pasado. Así sí.
Pasa un poco.
No, es que ahora cuántas solo hay dos salidas. Es la... Espera. Aquí vamos, tenemos dos. Ya está, ya lo tengo. No me gusta. ¿Quieres el puntero?
Si el mouse funciona. Sí. Si el mouse funciona, lo puedo hacer con el mouse. No,
pero lo que pasa es que si lo mueves aquí, mira, se te va la pantalla. Yo, a no ser que lo más con cuidado, ¿sabes? Ahí tiene la cosa, hace lo que quiera. Pero aquí hay una cosa que no me gusta. No me gusta esto. Porque para poder grabar la pantalla es lo que puedes usar la presentación con diapositivas. ¿Lo ves esta?
Sí.
¿La puedes seleccionar? No.
A ver, lo estoy mirando ahí. ¿no?
Perfecto. Perfecto. ¿Vale? Bueno, Albert. El puntero es ahora ya podría hacerlo tú. Pero sí, para que pueda.
Hola. Well. First of all, thanks Javier and the UARC, University of Alicante, and Foro Cerámico Hispalyt. Well, my English is really bad. I didn't know, and it's okay because if you told me before to come, it's in English, maybe I wouldn't be here, and then it's nice to to be informed 1 hour ago. Okay, I'm Albert Faus, architect, also an engineer in buildings. I don't know what's the name in English. I'm living in Burkina Faso since 2010. It's 9 years. Always, most part of my projects always are in international cooperation. Small projects, always low budget. I'm going to be fast today. To introduce a little bit Burkina Faso, really quick. Burkina Faso is this country, interior country, not in the we don't have a coast, with a lot of countries. And is one of the poorest countries in the world. With Burkina, there are three tiny lines, that three climate areas. Sahel is really warm there, not a lot of trees or vegetation. In the middle, the Sahelo-Sudanian, it's a middle, but in the south there is a green area near the coast, Ivory Coast, and near the Ecuador. My work is especially in this area, in Ouagadougou, the capital, and also in Koudougou. It was the first. It was where I arrived. First time in 2005 with some friends, and then after in Port also. Many ethnics, different ethnics. It means that you have to, when you arrive as an architect, it's not only to have a solutions to build, but also to understand how to build, how to manage teams, because people are really different than you are, that you know, or what is the kind of people you know. Some social data to have a little comparison with Spain is the surface is the middle of the space of Spain, from Spain, 20 million here, 47, and then it means also a lowest density than in Spain, because we have still some space to build, and more of 70% of people live always in rural areas. It means in Ouagadougou there are 2 million. In Bobo Dioulasso, maybe 1 million, but all the rest lives in the villages. It's 24 into this 80 in Spain. It's a big difference. Esperanza de vida, I don't know. Life, expected life. A big difference from Europe also. In Spain, for example, 83 years. In Burkina, 15 years ago when I arrived in 2005, when I arrived to visit first time, it was 45 years expected life. Today, 60. It means in 15 years, each year we want a year. Why? Especially because the sanitary conditions are improving. Yeah. No, it's gonna be. It's coming. No, but because it is still a lot of babies that die before 5 years old. 84 for 1,000 in Spain or Europe countries, for example, 3 babies. It's a very big difference. But when I arrived, it was 150 or 150 or too much. In the other side, the middle age in Spain or in Europe, in Occidental countries, is 43, 45. We have old, and there the middle is 17. More than 50% of the people in Burkina are men under 20 years old. You are also a little bit old. Oh no, doesn't matter. Okay, and there are a lot of things to do, no? It's growing up the country economically or financially, 3, 4, 5%. European countries is 1, 2, 3. That it's a lot of work to do. And people under the poor index is near or close to 50%. Then it's really a poor country. And then also a problem is all of this data is also to understand the kind of project we make. We focus in sanitary and educational buildings or projects. In the school, only in preschooler and nurseries, the 3% of babies are going to nursery, only 3%. Then after in primary school, it's okay for 91, but quickly in secondary, the people, young people leave, and then in university only 6%. And then well, there are also a big problem there. Analphabetization, analphabets, 44, between 15 and 24 years old, 44% of women, 57. It's to understand. I hope you can understand the difficulties. Going in material. We don't have a lot of materials there, and our team, we like to work with, even if it's possible, but because not all the clients permits you. But when it's possible, we like to work with mud. This is mud. This is earth with water and with raw. After we will see how we prepare this. We like to work also with bricks, with stone bricks. This is a cantera, carrier. Okay. With lateritic stone. Lateritic is a kind of earth or a kind of suelo. There is in all the warm areas in the world, in Ecuador, because in India there are also lateritic. I think in Latin America there are. Cailloux Sauvage is a stone less stronger than the other one, and CEB, compressed earth brick. This is a lateritic earth with a little bit of sand and a little bit 5, 6, 7% cement. That it gives a material. Well, to stabilize it. It's better against the water, against the rain, and also cement bricks. This is I want to focus here. This is because if you understand this data, it's to understand why we choose some strategies there. In Ouagadougou, temperature moyenne, media, average is 28 degrees. It means all the year, night, day is average. In Alicante, 18, in Barcelona, 16. It means we now in this period we have 40, 45 during the day, not less 30 at night. In December, January, it means in Francais. January is 30 during the day, 20 at night. Okay, now it's really complicated. The rain. Sometimes we have an idea there it's a dry country. No, in Ouagadougou, close to 800 millimeters, more than double than in Alicante and Barcelona. And also, it's very, very important, the relative humidity, because, for example, in Barcelona, it's close to 18, and in Burkina, it's 48, but it's engañoso. It's not real, because 9 months a year, it's 10, 15, 20%. It's really a low humidity. It's really a dry country. It's but 3 months in summer, asciende a lot, and then finally it's 48. But you can think no, it's 20, 25. It's really dry. And then I make this is a project we will see after. But how I have this diagram, I want to show different strategies, because, for example, we use it after we understand this, we can start to work like this. with the strategies and the references. References mean traditional, for example, traditional strategies. Donc, for example, double roof, we try always to protect the building against the direct sun, against the rain. Also, how we saw there is an amazing rains in the summer. Excuse me, and also it always it only rains in summer, July till September. The rest of the year, zero. But an amazing thing, an amazing storms with a lot of wind. And then a double roof as a umbrella and as a parasol, du soleil. Okay, now double roof separate from the building, and then a lot of air protecting the the building. After the walls, no woods, for example, bóvedas, domes with earth. The earth gives us an humidity. The walls with earth permits to almacenar, to keep humidity inside, and then when the ambience is really dry, the wall gives slowly a little bit of humidity. Also, well, this is mosquito nets. It's particularly for this project. But why we make here mosquito nets is it means it's a net that permits the air, the hot air, but the air, well, you know, the cold air is down, and then the hot air is in the top, and then you need, that is essential, you need to leave or permit the air to go out. And then in this project was with mosquito nets in the closing the domes. Well, the mirrors, the walls with earth is the same thing that the domes. Walls with the stone, because with the other with the stone, because here it was a when the building is a little bit exposed, you have to protect the. You can't leave the earth walls really exposed. You have to protect them. In this project, I explained before after. We had a facade really exposed, and then we built a long wall with a stone, because we knew it was we will have a problem if it was with earth. Understand a little bit? Also, we work with clay, clay plasters. For the same reason, to work with people, to work with women especially, and because the earth gives us humidity. Also with earth floor, and also working always with trees, with the vegetation as a defense, a natural defense from the storms, also to give us humidity, to increase the low relative humidity, and to as a sun protection. Okay, this is our introduction, and then we start. First project is a nursery in Kudugu, the first city I live. This is the town center, and we were in the west, in the academic quarter, and we have the city council give us a property. Is this one? This is before, evidently. Just here, it's like a triangle. In the down, in this angle, it was un vertedero, like a pubel, like a well, rabbit, just about one. Okay, and it was this also this camino, this path with a plain of trees, and we keep this path to organize our project, because the project, excuse me, the nursery is inside a cultural center. It means that all that here in this space we place different buildings, bibliothèque, library, excuse me, art, design, or different things, ateliers. But here it was the nursery. To think about this, to start this project, I tried to understand, because it was my first project there. I didn't want to make a big mistakes, only small mistakes. There are always mistakes, but this time it was a small mistake. I tried to understand a little bit how because in architecture, I think, because it would be interesting also to have some lessons about anthropology or sociology, because if you arrive to a new country, you don't know nothing about them, and then to have some herramientas, tools to understand quickly, it will be nice. Anyway, this is a house of the ethnic in that area, the Musi ethnic. And that house is a house, typical house, not really a house. It's not a real example. It's an idealizado example. But you can see that in red is the houses, little houses, but the rooms to sleep. Maybe here is the chef. He found the house, concession, it's called concession. And here different women, because there was a polygamia. Maybe they have one children, and then he married and came here, and this is the way the house grow up. And then, but always in the perimeter, to keep some free space in the middle is the public space with a tree. The tree gives us humidity, protection, fruits, mango. It's a mango tree, maybe. And we have here they have graduation, the public to private spaces with small walls. Okay, here is public space. Here and space of the transition to arrive to the room. Okay, is this small houses, is chamber rooms, and also is interesting. There is not a wall, exterior wall to protect. No, it's the wall. It's the houses are at the same time the perimeter of the wall. No, you can see here the houses and the wall to close all the property. We can see it's a little bit high. Normally they are maybe a meter. So only to say, here is exterior, here is public space, here is my space. My space for a woman, she will have the animals maybe, or he will prepare the kitchen. Okay, then we use a little bit this we don't normally there they will make a wall all perimeter. We send the buildings to the perimeter, and it's the position of the building who create this graduation of private or public. Okay, to spend money, because if you build a building and then after you have to build a wall, you have to pay this wall. No, we place the buildings to create this public space. Is here the public space, because here we have a theater, and then here at the same time is the public platea, and then the other ones, this building defines this public space, but at the same time create here a private space for the library and the polyvalent room. And then our nursery was here. Evident, we have also a geometry like a triangle, but the idea was a little bit the same idea of the rest. Always the buildings are north, south, and exposing the less surface possible to the east, because it's the direction of the main the storms. Okay. Then when it's finished, then these are the roofs, metal roofs. Okay. The nursery was this triangle. The administrative building, administrative part, with two despachos, bureau, offices, meeting room, and storage, and a polyvalent space between the two blocks. It's the dining room or the theater for the party or children, and then the three classrooms. How I said, exposing the less possible surface to the east, and creating a spaces as a negative of the interior. Each classroom has his own patio to activities, exterior activities, and in the west, all the spaces for the play, and with the trees to protect all for the afternoon sun. This building, this part of the project, it was the last one, and then it's like un aprendizaje. Here, a learning of the buildings before. In the first buildings, we construct only a one wall with stone. In this building, or these buildings, in the classrooms, we made two walls. Ventilados is the exterior with the stone, easy to keep it in correct style. In the interior, we work with mud. Okay, with mud. Here you can see the stone, la fachada ventilada. And in the interior wall is with mud. It is mud who supports the roof, all the structure, the concrete. Here there is a concrete roof, and then after the double roof, metal double roof. Excuse me. And here you can see designed the ceramic traditional pieces. Okay. Two area, two ventilation, permanent ventilation. And the process. we have here some videos, but it's always handmade buildings. Well, in the first two projects, or especially handmade, and we made everything. I paid the young people of the neighborhood. We worked together. I learned a lot of things from them, and I hope they learned something. This is to make the foundation, no? To prepare the concrete. Here we can call factory and send me some metros cúbicos. There we work in the floor. Here with con el nivel de agua, with the O level. Okay, here we are finishing the foundation. We start el encofrado. ¿Cómo se dice encofrado? Well, always the buildings there are between 20 and 40 centimeters elevados, because the rain is huge in summertime, and then to protect from humidity. And then, excuse me, when this is to hide the building, and then when we are finishing this moment, we went to the carrier nursery to ask them for 10,000 bricks. Bricks, yes? It's like this. Latritic. They trazan con el pico. You ask them, we want 30 centimeters, or like a ceramic brick, 10 dimensions. They send us a little bit irregularly, and then we are in the chantier, in la obra, in the side. You have someone who perfection. Each week. Esto es una majada. This is a tool for the cultivo, for the field, no? Okay. No problem. At the same time, for the interior wall, it's with mud. You can go also to mud or pay for some earth, and you can make yourself. Just like this. We are preparing the mix with the earth, with water, with some straw, fibra, like because you can pedalear. Like when you are in Mexico, it's the same thing. I made this. It's not easy because it's really pega. It's adhesive. And then we prepare a mold with wood. Pies desnudos. Cuidado con las manos, with the hands, like this. He's gonna do this is to increase the adherence between the brick and the mortar. And then we came back to the side. We start the first line. How is to leave the bricks apparent? You should really think before to start the construction, the despiece, the module. I'm a little bit obsessed with the module and to don't put a lot of bricks. And I really catch my death. Me rompo la cabeza. I break my brain to find a module to have piezas enteras, 4 pieces or half. With CLB, we will see after, we are also work with 3/4, 3/4. That is how we work, hemos tallado las piezas, the pieces, and then the aspect is really nice. We make these to have a vertical sides. Well, we improvise systems to work in altura, that with me we construct también unos andamios así de hierro. We make the exterior wall with stone to protect the building from against the water, and in the interior we construct with the mud bricks. Then after we prepare the concrete structure. This is a really important pieces, metal pieces to anchor the metal roof, because the storms, how I said before, the storms are huge with a really strong wind. Okay, eastern winds. Okay, the ceramic is really, that is very important. I insist, it's the last buildings of the cultural center. We were building, I say, dual roof, the stone, it's still a little bit hot inside. And it's because we need to leave the earth, because at night, there's no glass windows, there's only persianas, okay? But at night, they close, and then there's no ventilation. In warm or hot weather, we need thermic inertia, and at night to keep the most part of the day cold, the interior, and at night ventilation. How it close the windows, we don't have ventilation, and then we need ventilation that it's more effective. Then we are laying the concrete with cubos. And this is, I call this video the choreography of the concrete. You should see here the mix in the hair. Someone who is mixing, another one who is charging the el cubo, another one who's here. What would you say? 40 degrees, 45 degrees. Maybe they don't have breakfast in the morning. But they are smiling, laughing. Each breakfast is about 10 or 15 kilograms. When someone told me, los africanos, they don't want to work, come. Let's come. It's really hard. Okay. And then we don't have too much money, always a low cost buildings. When we spend some rest of rest of bars to make, for example, los dinteles, I don't know. And then we are here, we are trying, okay. We are testing the solution. And then now we finished the roof, concrete roof, the walls inside, the walls outside, and then it's here we can see the holes for the ventilation. Nice. But it's a nice work from them. Here also. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's the moment for women. Wonderful moment. They arrive to the. They are not going to cooking, but they are cooking for themselves. But they coming to work. It's another kind of mud. It's what is clay, and it's to do the interior, the finishing, also los acabados, the plaster, with the hands, Here we leave. Qué pecado ya. Lo que he hecho es aquí igual. ¿Se veía así? ¿No se veía en negro antes? No. Vale, ok. Okay. No, I wanted to explain that we leave the clay arrives here and then after is with cement because there's humidity and then you have to protect the walls. Okay, and then to understand the work. Hold. Sí. Forward. No. It's solar. No. Then this moment to start the metal roof and to do really the ventilation. No? We didn't have a machine that we have un taladro drill, and then with a no problem. And then we have this image, and then down you can see it can in the traditional construction you have this kind of solutions. It's not I don't invent. I learn from the tradition. Okay, and then one time once you have finished the structure, we fix the metal. Okay, here we started to play a little with the floor, with the concrete floor. We wanted to put some color. And at that time, this is 2012, I wanted to produce cement tiles. I didn't know the technique. I wanted to produce cement tiles because always we are obligated to make una solera. Solera is 10 centimeters. It's a lot of cement. Cement is pressure, very expensive for us. And then if we can do prepare or produce cement tiles 2 or 3 centimeters, we can prepare a sand floor, and then after only 3 centimeters. I mean, it's also really nice, but we didn't know the technique at that time. After we will finish with this. Okay, donc is the sun. We have a very big problem with the termitas. Termites, and then, but at that moment we didn't have money, and then we aprovechamos with oil, car oil. We use motor, the wheel of the motor of the cars. Use when you have to do the end maintenance of the car, you have to that oil. It's a black oil, used oil. It's fantastic against termitas. And then here is that oil, and then after a plastic to keep the oil, to keep the acids or the gas, and then quickly the concrete, and then with con la paleta. There's no helicopter to realizar, and we had this image. Was nice. Okay, and then finish a little bit this image with the trees at the west. In this project, we didn't have really a lot of money, and then the roofs are a double roof, but there's not no sobrepasan mucho. An interior with the plaster with the cal, la chaux, en français c'est la chaux. Cal. Bueno, cal. Lime. With lime. Lime is also interesting for the termites. and we can find, and we find there in Burkina. We can produce there in Burkina. Excuse me. Okay. Quickly. Lime also in this part of the building, and with the children. Okay. So this is the first one. Okay. Second one. It's quickly. And house in an orphanage for children with some handicaps, intellectual handicaps. Here we had this property with a pre-existence, a big pre-existence is the orphanage, administration, kitchen, storage, blah blah blah, and we had this space. It was a really a slow process to arrive to the final solution, because normally I had to put a building like this, north-south, exposing a small surface to the east, to the storms. But how I had the entrance here, I had this building. They wanted the ONG wanted to build later another building behind. Finally, I put the building. Well, now, excuse me, you should. This is the plan, north-south, but in this one, the north-south is like this. Okay, the main facade is this one, is exposed to east. Okay, and then all the explanation I made before and I will do later in this project, it's not exactly. And then I decide to make to put the building in a bad position, to get an entry space for the association to do the reception of parties and to keep free a space behind this building. And then I use some strategies. I have I propose a bad position, bad orientation, but then in this position when I made all this wall, how is exposed to the rain, I made all this wall with a stone, with the other stone, with a caillou sauvage, called in French, and all the houses behind this protected wall. And all the programs here, only I left the toilets, the bathrooms, exposed to the other oriented to east, because I didn't have windows in the facade. I put the windows laterally protected for the roof, and like this I create a small terrace entrance, terrace for the entrance, another terrace on the other side for the playground. And all they asked me for 6 bedrooms, small bedrooms for children, and then the size of the bedroom, the width of this model gave me the idea to use for first time domes, okay, earth domes with the compressed earth bricks. Okay, the designs, the facades, sections, and the structural section or constructive section is cyclopean foundation always, basement and small wall to elevate 20-40 centimeters, and well here. Yeah, it's not really too much clear, no demasiado claro, but his earth, then comprimida, compactada, and 10 centimeters concrete, and then 30 centimeters of a mur wall of BPC, CEB in English, on the walls. We leave the top of the facades. It is a half circle as a mosquito net made in plastic. Hilo. That is a technique really common there in Burkina to prepare chairs or beds, also beds. We use this to leave some free space to ventilation, and we prepare this, we produce this with an association of blind men. They work like this. Incredible. Okay, some plan of detail. When you work with apparent bricks, you should, I insist, you should think about the module, you should think about the corners, you should think about the windows, to don't have problems in the process. And then I used to design each line. If I have 30 lines, I design 30 lines with some annotation. When you have the windows and the different bricks. And the concrete structure, the beams, concrete beams, that with a geometry that make it easier to start the domes. Here it will be a little bit expensive, yes, because the work with the wood is really important. Excuse me. How the woods are also with the bricks, they are also a work that you should think about this image. The dimension of the rooms also responding also at the dimension of the brick. The system to fix the metal roof. Here I was absolutely sure, because I had already some experience to building in Burkina. I knew that the concrete beams will then be at the same level. We will have some problem with the horizontally, and then I thought I preferred, because normally we have only a horizontal piece. Then here we made also a vertical to put to can correct in vertical and horizontal. We will see that after. These are buildings without concrete columns, only no sé cómo se dice, muros de carga, walls were structural walls, not concrete columns. And also in this project, we work with in this space with tiles, earth tiles, compressed earth tiles. We do have to think also about the full pieces. Don't cut pieces. Some details of the doors, the windows, the mosquito nets, and also for the lights. And then the process, we put the wall, the stone wall, the main wall of the house with the chateau, with the water tank. This is the machine to prepare the earth bricks. We put here the mix, and then two young, strong men, one here, another one here, at the same time, and then this one, the sun, and press the bricks. We always make the first two lines without mortar to confirm that what we design is correctly, because the design in the laptop is relatively easy, but the reality always changes some things. Okay, it's like this. This is the wall with the other kind of stone. It's two faces. It's in the middle. It's like a dry stone here in Mallorca, or I don't know, in other places. It's here you can see 1, 2. In the middle is the mortar, and then exterior you can see it, and then it's really natural, really nice wall. Excuse me. And this is the mold for the concrete beams. I imagine that to make this in Alicante will be a little bit expensive, or expensive than that. And then it's the moment to start the domes. Okay, and then I have to recognize that I start to construct this building without a solution for the double roof. It was in I think the they are in order, in chronological order. And then maybe we were finishing the domes. Shit, how I'm going to cover this building, and well, it was first we made some maquettes with the models with plastic, with a young student from well, French student from Barcelona, but he's French, Octavio. And how I was lucky because I was living in Kudugu in the cultural center. There we had in soldador. Well, okay. And then we made a model 1.5 to verify and okay, it's strong, okay. Then we designed with a carton la canal, la canal de agua. Bon. And then after, well, we went to Ouagadougou, la capital, with a professional. We start this. You put this like come side. There's no machines. You make this. You start, and you find that you thought it was okay because you have some flexibility to move the structure. And then to create las correas, se sepa como dice en inglés, correas, is here we adapted with this machine. Well, you can see there's not exactly the same thing, but more or less. Pamal. Also the column with 4 tiny corniers, je sais pas comment on dit, L's, angles, and protected with some rest of the other pieces to protect the babies from the angles. Could be dangerous for them. This is el cartón ahí plegado, pues es chapa metal. An interior, and here you can see one of the mosquito nets. And el andamio de obra is a stair. I like this. And it also is the moment for women. I bring a woman from Kudugu. We took the car, we took the bus and together, and they made an amazing work. They were like from areas, but to go to the capital was very important for them. And to the blind people preparing the mosquito net. You can see here a chair. The idea came from this kind of chair. I thought it could be interesting because here always you have a small space for air, but not for insects or not for mosquito. And it's nice. It's also colored. This is also earth, complex earth. Like the bricks from the wall. You can with different machine, but it's also with a machine. Yes, here they made. So it's not we. It is a local producer for more than 25 years experience, and for the floor he likes to put a little bit more of cement. Even maybe chemical product, because it's more exposed. But you can see that always full pieces, and here I would put a concrete ring to block them. A woman came and to finish the last thickness, women always with the children. They don't have money for nursery, or no, always carry them. And with the menuisier, el carpintero, with the carpenter, we prepare also like in the doors to look inside to see if the children they are having a rest, they are sleeping, and each bedroom has a relationship between the dog and the visitor. Okay, when it was finished, like this, stone wall, protected from the rain. The trees, it means first level beside the wall is the wall, and then after trees to protect from the rain, the dirt, the dirt or the dry air. We are doing the tour. And the opposite facade is absolutely different, another character, but also, well, you can see here, with two lines of trees to protect of the sun from the afternoon, because it's a very bad sun for the bedroom. But we have the advantage that in Burkina, the sun it's up quickly and the sun quickly. It's not like here that you can have more time and then it's worse in the east or west. In Burkina, you should protect really your head, but not the sun from morning or afternoon. It's not so bad like here. We are inside now. The idea also was that the corridor was like a semi-exterior. Like this, all the rooms, all the spaces had a double ventilation, a double facade. Like this, we could use the ventilation, natural ventilation. And in the middle of the building, in the entrance, there were no dome with. Well, it was a dome, but it's a dome, a metal dome with mosquito net. Like this, we have natural ventilation like this, and then in the middle of the building, the dual roof is with metal. It's really hot, and then it's creating like a solar chimenea fireplace, and then it's a natural ventilation like this. Here it's hot, and then a natural convection in the middle. And then if you really like, you really can sense this when you go in the house. It's the corridor. Always, if this is the work of the woman, was extraordinary. But really nice. It's irregular, no, surface, and like this, no, and floor, walls, ceiling with earth, with bricks, apparently bricks, or apparently pieces. I think it's nice to use the bricks. But it's really the work you have to think. At night, these mosquito nets gives a friendly image. And this is some months ago with the natural barrier, natural defense. Okay. Quick. Maternity. It is a different, it is an existing building. Is this one? Excuse me. This is a sanitary complex, the maternity. dispensary, different pieces. And then now we are down. This is the maternity. And the ONG asked me to go there to look some cracks. When I arrived, I found this building. I told you, I say, "Boy, I have a lot of work to do, but I'm going to see the aspect how it is, and I'm going to give you a builder. You will do yourself." When I arrived, I saw the building with this is height. You have the metal roof. This is also techo, a ceiling. This is water. This is la sala de partos. This is the woman giving birth, and all the water, all the rain is coming here. And I said, well, we have to search money to renovate the building. At the same time, this is the building before. It's a square building. This is the building who existed before, and I propose to devise absolutely the building, but to create here a little bit like in the other house, natural ventilation in the corridor, and then this space and this space could have a ventilation, natural ventilation, and also ampliar the building in this side, and create a patio, because women who are giving birth, they are women from the family they are coming with them, and they are preparing a cook here to give to the other woman. And here we are doing a double roof and a double wall. Okay, this is the exterior wall who is warm. The interior is cold, and then also natural ventilation to hot air, double roof, and the corridor. The new structure didn't push the old walls, and then it was independent, but especially to leave the air exit, but also because it was an old building. We didn't know nothing about the foundation. We didn't know the capacity of the walls. We didn't know if this old building could support the new charge, and then we support all the new efforts in the new build, in the new walls. Okay, double. This is the architectural plan. We keep here the sala de espera, consultants, the new birth, and here the ampliación. This is the old structure. We didn't push. New structure with our foundation, with our beams, or with our walls, with the new double roof. It's simple. It was only complicated in the middle. Let's say the process. We had a building like this. We start to give him the new geometry, the new image. Always the first two lines without mortar. And here it's also a double mur exterior with earth interior with cement bricks, because it's a building for the government. They don't accept earth in the interior, and then we keep the cement inside. No problem. This is for the new roof in the corridor. Excuse me. We use this wood to have the new roof in the new part of the building. After, when the concrete was already strong, we clean. We use for the new roof of the old building. It was a lighter solution to don't charge too much the old walls. I don't know if it's possible to understand. Here you can see the old building. No, and we want to save money because we were using the same wood. Voila. Okay. This wood. It was used to do the other roof, and these IPNs, these metal beams, were in the old buildings. We use the same that we found. We use again after. All these buildings are made with 30,000 euros, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 ratio. I don't know in Alicante. It's a ratio of 155 and 50 or 175, 2,000. 200. Here maybe it's 1,000 and 2,000 or 2,000 left. Okay. Here is to leave the air exit. I like when we were constructing this. I like a lot this image, no, how the light, the sound, but the moment we made the double roof, in the moment we made the other to the water, disappear. But I keep this in my head. This element here to the water direct to the karité tree is really happy with all the water, and this is the day of the inauguration, opening day. I like, you can see the old building, well, renovate, but the old building. Los jefes, the bosses of the community, all the community inside. Let's go to dance. Here you can see the crack for the air. And I like to make this before and after. It's not exactly the same point of view, but more or less. It changed a little bit. I have some news from there. I say that the women are giving more verbs. No, this is not interesting. Okay, to finish quickly, it's on an ophthalmologic block. With our own NGO there, we arrived. We had this plot, empty plot. Only here, a machine to prepare to produce the bricks, CAV bricks. Another kind of bricks of the other ones, but because they are bricks that they can se pueden maclar. It's like a Lego. You will see. Very but and a lot of dreams of the NGO. Now we want to do, and then quickly with the brick, because they asked me to use as much as possible this brick, and with empty plot, I want to have some something to what can I do, or how I invent for free a new master plan. They don't pay me, but I needed something to justify and pay the project. I made here for the personal residential area, formation, administrative, all the part for the sanitary blocks, and we put our building here. And then I decide to use that brick as much as possible for exterior walls, and also to do wood, the domes. The problem was that this kind of bricks, it's nice, it's easy to put them, but we don't have a bibliography to calculate the structure. I didn't find an engineer who decided to calculate my domes because it's not normal, it's not logic, it's not usual, and I had to calculate myself. I'm not really an engineer, and I augmented and increased a little bit, 2, 3, 4 times the security coefficients. But in this building, I needed to build with concrete columns, not in the other ones, but in this one, yes, because I can't make structural walls with this kind of brick. It's a little bit okay. Donc, all the building, it's modularized as this brick in section, also in plan, and also with the domes. At the interior, we use a concrete bricks, and also we had to arrive to the same height to use half a brick. Okay. Always you should think always all the modules, also the model for the woods. There are two types of woods for the main spaces, for the corridor. Okay, facades. You can see, no? All of this is columns, concrete columns. I say, okay, I have to use concrete, no problem. It's gonna be a little bit expensive, but then the concrete is gonna be also the image of the building. I like to show how the building works. I don't like to hide. All the beams, different geometries of the beams, the wood, and the particularity I told you before the last project. I like the light in the walls. This plan is a little bit similar to the other one, and here I decided in this project I want this light, or some light from the top, and then we put in the roof this part in the central, in the corridor, with not with metal roof or metal placas, no, the plastic, translucent. And then we left some holes in the woods to leave the light, sunlight entry. And then always in this kind of projects, one problem to find a solution is how you can, which geometry, which form will have the double roof. Here we have 3 domes, and then I make this, I make what, and then I finally decided to do a little bit curvature in the middle. Okay, and then the process here we start producing this earth compressed bricks. Here you put the mix. It's descending right here, and then that. The problem I didn't know, but the problem is really it's not easy to have always the same dimension. You have the same dimension like this, but not like this. I made the plans with one dimension, 22. Then after you find 21, 19, it was dramatic. I panicked. And then we were obligated to all the bricks dimension, and then play with the bricks to don't cut bricks. I don't want to cut bricks. And no. Esto es más complicado. ¿Dónde está? Okay, pardon. Okay, donc 20,000 bricks. Then here we I'm zero, zero. We didn't cut a brick. Zero. Only for the wood, for the domes, because the domes here, how this wall is not structural, you can continue the joint. But in the wood, in the dome, no. It's interesting to put for the horizontal efforts. Understand? And like this, I show that this wall doesn't work. It's only a double facade. It's a parament, but it's not structural. When you see this, when you see how the lines they are continuous, no, you can understand this. Okay, all the concrete I said in the other buildings, I put it here. This is the form to the nice beams, concrete beams. We made the model for the domes. Always down, you should test, and then manual. Okay, dame otro. Send me another. And then here you can see, well, the wood finish, and I left some como ceramics to reinforce the structure. Here you can see how we cut the bricks with a machete, and it's not there aren't any mortar between the bricks, only in these small holes, but not in the other sense. The other sense is absolutely closed. when we finish the domes, we started to clean, and we start to see this particular image. Here, I signed where I wanted I didn't want concrete. This is the beams to reinforce the woods. Here we start to do the second the interior wall, but this wood, all these bricks are there are all this geometry of this. Well, don't give an image particularly. Here, if you remember the second project in the house in Quisito house, we doubled with a machine. Here we didn't have machine. We put one angle here, second angle here, third angle here. It corresponds to the curvature, and then comme ça. It's only. They are strong. Okay. And to finish, so always the trees, always the trees. You can see all the building, how is around, always in here you can see the plastic roof. And then when you enter, you are inside, you can see the light inside, because light is moving with the pass of the hours of the day. And it permits the air go out. It's always this. It's the same strategy, always, but different form. And here I told you also in the first project, I told you I wanted to produce Simon tiles, and in this project I get it. This is the first time in Burkina we produced someone produced Simon tiles. There is a Spanish producer from Mallorca, Huguet Mallorca, que son expatriados. He's my friend, and he showed me a little bit the process. How is the same machine for the CED, for the BTC? We use it, and how is the first time? Each one is different, but it's a nice. I think the mistake gives also a nice image. Voilà. Merci. Sorry for my English. Sorry. Lot of white. I like white is.
More than you, congratulate your baby. And like you can